Okay, happy Thursday. It is January 30th. Take a look at the sideboard, get pencil and paper, write down the important notes under where it says 7th advance. Then we're going to go to Delta Math and work on the functions assignment. Don't forget the password is MA. I don't remember if I changed your passwords or not. Okay, so it's been a minute since we've been in Delta Math. We may or may not be able to get in. We'll see. I'm going to change your passwords in Delta Math to this. Following that functions assignment, we're going to make sure you can find the slope of a line given 2 points. So you're going to get a handwritten sheet from the blue stand and begin working on finding the slope given 2 points. Now, to find the slope given 2 points, if you look over on the sideboard, you'll see in like the second column, it says use the slope formula toward the bottom, and they have 2 points there, 7, 6, negative 3, 2. You can either use the slope formula or you can count. Because what we're going to be doing after we find the slope, we're going to be trying to write the equations for the function two different ways. The first way will be slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, which is on the sideboard for number 1, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. That one you all should be familiar with. And then the second one that we're going to work on learning between today and tomorrow is point slope, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, where m is still the slope, and that x1, y1 is just a ordered pair from the relation. So what am I talking about? All right, look in the middle of the board. Where it says use the slope formula, and then it has 7, 6, and negative 3, 2. You all see that?
Yes.
All right. So if we use the slope formula, 7, 6, 7, comma 6, and negative 3, 2 to find the slope. I prefer counting by looking for the change in the y and putting it over the change in the x. But the slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And both of these will get you to the slope of the problem. The distance between 6 and 2 is 4. So that's the change in the y values, 4. And then the x values is from 7 to 3. I'm sorry, 7 to negative 3. So that's a distance of 10. And if you're going from 7 to 3, that's a negative. From 7 to negative 3 is a negative. From 6 to 2 is also a negative. What's up?
So for writing down, do we write all the middle?
Yes, you're going to write all 3 columns. You're going to write ways to write linear equations. Then you're going to write slope formula in that column with function definition and using the slope formula. And then you're going to write given 2 points, find the slope. And all of that information, after you write it, I really need for you to read through it a couple of times. Talk to me.
Why is two y, like why is it y2, why is it not y1?
Oh, because this is the first, this is x1, y1 because that's the first set of order pairs. This is x2, y2 because this is the second set of order pairs.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't matter which set is first and which set is second because this could be x1, y1, x2, y2. As long as you keep it consistent, you'll get the same result at the end.
Okay.
All right. So let's say I swap it up and I use the slope formula. Then I have 6 minus 2 over 7 minus negative 3. 6 minus 2 is 4. 7 minus negative 3 is 10. that's still 2/5.
And you still have to change to a positive.
Do I have to change the what?
The answer to like you got -4/10, you have to change to a positive. Right?
Yeah, I changed it because I wrote it in lowest terms. You can come see. All right, any questions on finding the slope?
No.
Okay, there's another example. Under given 2 points, find the slope and write both the y-intercept form and the point slope form of the equation for the line. That's a lot. Okay, I don't want to have that last column perfected until Monday, but that means we're working on it today, tomorrow, and Monday. First part is finding the slope. So the order pair is 3, 6, -4, 1. You find the slope, which is the change in the y over the change in the x. That's going to be 5 decreasing. The change in y over the change in x is decreasing 5. And this is decreasing 7. So this is not correct on the sideboard. I need to make that correction. It should be 5/7 for the slope. M is 5/7. This is not this on the sideboard where we have 3, 6, -4, 1. The change in the y is going from 6 to 1, so that's decreasing 5. And then 3 to -4 is decreasing 7. So the slope on this one is 5/7. And that's gonna change this number and that number to not be anything nice. I apologize in advance. That's gonna change our process on the sideboard for point slope. This part at the bottom where I solve for y is going to change. That's gonna be fun for you all to solve. Y - 6 equals 5/7 times x - 3. We have to write that in slope intercept form as we solve for y. Okay, answer your question.
In the slope formula, what does it try and
All right, other questions? Because next thing I want to do is show you how to use point slope. First of all, how do we feel about slope? Are we ready to just do some calculations with slope?
Yes.
All right, let's practice with slope. Go get a paper from the blue stand and work on finding the slope. We're going to change this up a little bit. We'll do that first before we practice with functions. No, it's a handwritten paper and it says find the slope. It's on the blue stand. It looks like this.
hold everything?
Now, if we have trouble getting into Delta Math, I may just assign the Math Excel for the functions. So stay tuned for that part, okay? Right now, we're gonna work on finding the slope, and then when we finish with this sheet, we'll do the Math Excel for functions to keep it easy and not find it all using Delta Math. All right, let me give you some time to finish writing from the sideboard, and then we'll move on to finding the slope. Raise your hand if you need more time. All right, I'm gonna pause. When you start finding the slope of these, 0 on the bottom is undefined. 0 on the top is 0. So rise over 0 is undefined. 0 over run is 0. As in no slope. Remember, this is the change in y over the change in x. Or y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm only going to do number 1, okay? 9 to negative 9 is decreasing by 18. Negative 6 to 7 is increasing by 13. And I would leave this as 18/13 because we want it as a rise over a run. The change in y over the change in x or the slope formula. Now, I did not show the slope formula for number 1. But if I show you the slope formula, it'll be 9 minus negative 9 over negative 6 minus 7. Me personally, I'm not a fan of the slope formula because I know like at your age, I wasn't 100% developed with working with negatives and positives. So I prefer counting the changes. If you use the formula, make sure you're strong with adding and subtracting integers. That's all I ask, okay? All right, so this is going to be 18, and then this is going to be negative 13, and you still get negative 18/13. Number 2, the distance between negative 6 and 16 is adding, I think, like 22. Is that correct? I'm going to say that that's right. The change in y on number 2 is 22.
Yes.
All right. The change in x is a whole lot of maybe like 34.
Yes.
All right. Now we can reduce this. 11 over 16.
17.
11 over 17. All right. You're going to answer 1 through 10. When you finish, there'll be a math Excel on functions. I'm not going to do a Delta math because I don't know if everybody knows their password. So 1 through 10. Let's get to work.